Good morning, guys. Well, we're gonna get back at it today. We have had so much rain. Look how wet it is out here. It is literally soaking wet all over. You out here checking it out? Everything good to go for today, Eclipse? What do you think, Supervisor? You ready to get it going? But we have got tons of water here on the mountain. It has literally been raining or misting or dewing or something for 5 days now. And I believe that we still got about 7 more days of rain to go. And it is causing issues over here on the building. Dry time is taking forever. I did that dry pack like 4 days ago, and it is finally dry enough that I could actually start working on the waterproofing portion of the shower. I did take a trip to Lowe's and pick up a blue flame heater to install today as well to help with the dry time, because every step of this shower has dry time from here on out. And I need to get it done. Let's take a look at it. It finally dried. It turned out pretty good. I made a big mess putting all of this up, but that's no big deal. Today we're gonna come in here. We're gonna run a caulk line all the way around the edge. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Well, look at there. All of us are in the shower. I'm glad you like it, Eclipse, because you're gonna end up in the shower in here. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get that on there so that can start drying. Then I'm gonna put 2 or 3 coats of that liquid waterproof membrane in here, and then we'll get some tile in here. But this dry time sure has slowed it down. Let's go ahead and get this caulking in there. That way it can start drying. Then we'll clean up this disaster that we have out here. That way I can install the heater. That way I don't have to worry about a fire hazard. I know the lighting's not great in here, guys, because it is gloomy outside. With these tight seams that I got right here, I don't really have to do this part because the concrete board goes below the dry pack. But I'm just doing it as an extra layer of protection, just in case. All right, guys, we got the caulking all the way around. Turned out pretty good. It's just a very small little bead. Like I said, that concrete board actually goes down probably 3 inches below all of this. So it's already got a good seam. I got the supervisor in here making sure that it was done correctly. But I'm gonna let this dry. It'll only take about 1 second for y'all, much longer for me. And let's go ahead and get a coat of that liquid waterproofing on there. That way it can go ahead and start drying. All right, guys, the product I'm gonna be using is Aqua Defense. They got many different types of this stuff. I know there's a red one and a couple other ones. This right here is what my local store Lowe's had in stock, and also what they carry. And they told me that it'll work just fine. So that's what I'm gonna go with. And this stuff is thick, guys. Look how thick that is. It is thick, but they say that you need to stir it up before you use it. I'm going to be putting this on with a roller and a paintbrush, and I'm going to put it on pretty thick. Not too thick, but pretty thick. So I'm sure it's going to take a minute for it to dry. But with the roller, it shouldn't take too long. I'm going to use the paintbrush along the base at the bottom so I can get it up in there and get a real good thick coat, and also in the corner and on all the seams. Let's get it poured into the little paint pail thing, and we'll get this thing going. Now, I do have one of these little plastic things because I have a funny feeling this is not going to be fun to clean up afterwards. Haha, that is some thick stuff. Oh, the lighting is terrible in here. Alright guys, we got the first coat on the walls. Now we're going to start working on the floor, but I wanted to stop for a second and kind of show you all the walls. Put it on there as thick as I could. As you can see, it's blue. Bluish green. I don't know how well it'll show up with the camera, especially with this bad lighting. But on all the seams, I put it on with the paintbrush, as y'all seen in the time lapse, to put it on very, very thick. And this stuff smells strong, guys. Strong, strong. But now we're going to start at that wall right there and work our way out. I'm going to use the paintbrush at the bottom to get it real good and thick across there, and I'll use the roller in the center. All right, let's get this thing started. The good thing about this kind of painting is it doesn't have to be pretty. You definitely want to make sure to get these bottom ones right here, because if you was going to have a leak, this is where it would be. All of this other waterproofing on the walls, honestly, is just for condensation and moisture. There's really no way for it to get out there. Oh, this lighting is horrible. What do you think about it, Ryder? Of course, Ryder's right here beside me. Already got paint on him. You got to get out of here, bud. No. No, you can't be in here. It's not good for you. Alright guys, I'm going to let this right here dry for a little while, and I'm going to go ahead and get started on cleaning up this nightmare of a mess that I got going on in here from all the different building parts that I was doing with the rain. I've had to keep everything inside right here and can't take it outside, so it has started cluttering on me big time up in here. So let's go ahead and get all this cleaned up while we wait for that to dry, and then we'll go ahead and put the other two coats on. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to dry. Wow, this place was a mess. I got it cleaned up the best that I can for right now, because as you do a project, you just destroy it. I got all of the insulation in the solar room right here, right along with the miter saw. But I got the room that I'm working on cleared out pretty good. I got that one swept out and all of the boards that needed to go outside. But now I got some room to work. The first coat of waterproofing is dry and it looks good. I know the lighting's not good in here, guys. I already got my paint tray and my waterproofing in here and my roller and my brush to go ahead and get the second and third coat on. And then after that dries, we could put some tile down, guys, and go ahead and get the metal up on the walls. All right, let me go ahead and get this up and then I'll show y'all what it looks like after it's got all the proper coats on it. Alright guys, that's a wrap for waterproofing. I still got to let it dry, but I got the third coat on and I put it on thick, guys, thick. Just had the supervisor come out here and check everything out, give me the okay to let it dry. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. I got the foreman coming, trying to check it out. It is blue up in there, guys, blue. The lighting, of course, still isn't great, but we got it all the way around and that floor is completely sealed. What do y'all think, guys? A good day's work? You smell. All right guys, I put a piece of concrete board up there to deter these two pain in the butts. All right guys, I'm gonna stop the work for a minute. What do I need to do to get you to subscribe? I build. I dance. I've got jokes. Oh man, it's a hot one today. Got me out here sweating like Michael Vick at a PETA fundraiser. Come on. I've got cute pets. Make sure that you take a minute, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I got a big goal this year, trying to get to 30,000 before the end of the year. Help me out. Let's get back to building. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, we got a lot to get done today. It is still rainy, still gloomy, and we got more bad weather coming here on the mountain. It is crazy. From what I hear, there is not supposed to be this much rain at this time in December here in Arkansas. But it is what it is, but we're gonna keep on getting with it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the shower and see if all the waterproofing that we put on yesterday, that third coat, is done and cured, and if it is, we're going to put some tile on today. Let's check the walls. Oh, the walls still on the corners right there is a little wet still, but for the most part, that is good. I'm thinking that we might be good enough to be able to start some tile. That is awesome. Well, I guess the first step is going to be grabbing the tile and kind of dry fitting it in there and kind of see how I actually want to do it and figure out how many cuts that I'm actually going to have to make for this. I got the foreman out here making sure that we get this next step right, and the supervisor is going to make sure that I stay busy. You like this cold weather, don't you? Huh? You ready to get to work, Ryder? You ready to get to work? Let's get this in here and get it dry fitted, see what it looks like. Alright guys, I got the dry fit done. I think it's going to look pretty good inside here. It's going to be cutting it close for the amount of tile that I got. I don't think I'm going to have to cut in the side pieces right here. That's why I ran it this way. That way all of those cuts right there don't have to happen, because when that metal goes down on top of it, you're not going to see none of that anyway. So I can just grout all of that. Same thing with the long side here. Most of my cuts are going to be along that front wall and this back wall, which are the shorter of the four walls. But we need to mix up some mud now, and now it's time to start laying and get into it. Whew, I'm sure this is going to be interesting. You ready? How about you? Ryder, you ready? Don't talk back to me. Yeah, Ryder likes to talk back, don't you? Well, here goes nothing. See how it turns out. All right, I've gotten to a point that I'm gonna have to do some cut pieces. I need to put the cut pieces right there, and also a couple around the drain. But we are getting there, guys. We are getting there. All right, I just put a Diablo little tile blade on my 4-inch grinder, and I got some clamps. But it's gonna get a little louder in here because I'm gonna have to crank up the generator. But it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and get some of this cut. All right, guys, we got it tiled. It didn't turn out too bad. I know it's going to be pretty dark in here. I did try to turn some lights on, but it turned out pretty good. I still have to grout it, and along the edges right here I just put some random pieces in just to close the gaps just a little bit, so the grout gaps are not so big. The metal is going to come down here and cover up most of that. I just wanted something back there hard for the metal to be able to stop on, but I think it turned out pretty good. It's definitely not perfect by no means. Once it gets dried real good, I will come in there, clean the towel real good, and then go ahead and grout it and then let that set and dry. Then we'll put the metal and the fixtures in the shower. We are getting close, guys. I am definitely rusty on tile though, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a long time since I've laid some tile. I still don't like it. But it is what it is. It ain't too bad. I think it's going to turn out pretty good, guys. But I think that's going to be it for this video, because it should be getting pretty long right about now. We have waterproofed the whole thing. We got the tiny house kind of cleaned up a little bit so we can actually function to work in here. And we actually got the tile on the floor. So all in all, not too bad. One step closer. On the next video, we'll do the grout and the metal, and I should be able to take a shower. We're getting close, guys. But until we see each other again, come on, let's go on another adventure.